The squeals of a dying rabbit rang through the night as Alisandra followed her father down the forest pathway. His robes billowed behind him as he walked, black as night. They would have blended into the darkness if the moon hadn't been full. He was the Grim Reaper, and tonight was her first lesson in reaping. Alessandra wanted nothing more than to be back in her room listening to her rock music and reading a book. The perks of being the daughter of death was that on your 16th birthday, your powers developed. No more parties and no more normalcy. She hadn't asked for this and still wasn't sure she wanted to learn the family trade. Her father stopped when he came within sight of the rabbit. Halting beside him, she felt sick and wanted to run from the macabre sight before her. The rabbit was terrified and had pulled at the snare so that it dug into its neck and it was bleeding profusely. The poor thing would pull and squeal, and then it would lay panting, trying desperately to catch whatever breath it could. "Dad, why do I have to do this? I don't want to be the reason animals die," she pleaded with him once again, knowing that it would fall upon deaf ears. She had been trying to talk him into letting her do something else altogether, but he wouldn't hear of it. It was the family trade, he would say, and tell her to stop complaining. "You know as well as I do that death is a part of life, and we all have our part to play. Now I will leave you here. You must use your new ability to ease this creature into the next life. All reapers must do this for the first time alone. I wish you luck, my daughter." And with that, he turned and disappeared down the path they had come from. "You aren't even going to tell me how to start?" She peered helplessly in the direction he had vanished. She closed her eyes and counted to 10 to steady herself, then slowly turned back to the gruesome task ahead. She took a few steps forward, but stopped when the panicked rabbit started pulling again, frantically trying to get away from this newcomer that surely meant it harm. "Shh, it's okay," Alessandra whispered. She slowly knelt in the dirt, then sat quietly until the rabbit realized she wasn't going to hurt it further. It calmed down and stopped pulling at the snare, its chest heaving frantically. "Poor little guy," Alessandra thought to herself. She slowly inched closer until she could almost put her hand out and touch the rabbit. "Hush, little one. Let's get you out of this snare, shall we?" She continued making soothing noises while gently reaching out to pet the injured creature. The bunny trembled when she touched it, but its breathing evened out and it no longer seemed frightened. Gently, she removed the snare and cradled the rabbit to her chest. She could tell that the injuries were fatal, and as much as she wanted to save him, she would have to settle for helping him pass over with as little pain as possible. The only problem was, she wasn't sure how. She sat and stroked the bunny, who at one time had been a fluffy gray with a white tail, but whose fur was now matted and soaked with blood. The rabbit peered at her with surprisingly clear eyes, and suddenly she knew what she had to do. Alessandra held the rabbit's gaze as she began to speak. "I am Alessandra, daughter of death, and I am here to help. Your time on earth is done, and you are being called home." With that, the rabbit's breathing became shallower and then ceased altogether. Alessandra reached out with a gentle flick of her hand. A light appeared. She looked down and could see the bunny's spirit. Grasping it, she pulled it ever so slowly from its now limp body. The spirit flowed from her hand into the light, and making another motion, she sealed the bright hole she had created. The rabbit was gone, and Alessandra felt tears flowing down her cheeks. She gently laid the tiny body back on the ground and stood up. A pure white light suddenly flowed around her, and she could feel that the rabbit was at peace and had found its ancestors. With tears still flowing, she walked back the way she had come, her clothes slowly transforming into long black flowing robes of a reaper. I hope you all enjoyed Daughter of Death. Thank you so much for being here with me today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!